Another nice weekend on the road. We got to go out and play against Oral Roberts on last Thursday and then against Kansas City on Saturday, and had two matches that went the distance. We had a reverse sweep against Oral Roberts, beating them in 5 on their home court, and then another 5-setter against Kansas City Saturday. So 2 really good teams in their home gyms, and it's nice to be able to go out and play tough opponents on the road and pull out some victories. And so this week we've got coming up tomorrow night on Tuesday, South Dakota, who's currently number 1 in conference at 10-1 and 21-2 on the season. And then we've got our rematch against North Dakota State on Saturday, who's currently number 2 in the conference and doing really well, and hasn't lost a match since they played us in Fargo earlier in the season. So a chance to go play the top half of the conference as we prepare to get ready for the Summit League tournament. But we're really excited to keep moving forward.
What do you feel like is your advantage in 5 sets? You know, is it your conditioning? Is it your changes you can make?
Yeah, great question. I think we've got at this point we're 5-2 in 5-set matches on the season. I think we have the best 5-set match record of any team in the conference, and I think there's a few things for sure. Number 1 is just the conditioning and the shape that our team's in. I think our team works really hard in the weight room, both in season and out of season, and we've had some nice advantages where we'll play, whether it's a 5-set match or just a really long rally. Against Oral Roberts, we actually had one rally that included 15 exchanges in a single rally, which is crazy. Usually it's like 3 to 4 exchanges max. And after those rallies, we noticed that our opponents are a little more bent over and huffing for some breath, and we're never really quite in that space. So I think we're in really great shape. I think number 2 is just that we're incredibly balanced offensively, and that we're able to distribute the ball around quite a bit. And so when matches go the distance, you'll see some of our opponents, maybe some of their top attackers start to peter off as the match continues, and we don't really have that going on with our team because of the balance that we have. And then I think number 3 is just that our team is incredibly adept at making changes and adapting as the match goes on. And so whether it was the Oral Roberts match or the Kansas City match, they started to do some things differently than they had in the video that we had watched, and our team was able to adapt and to adjust and to make some changes that allowed us to capitalize on that and really put some pressure on them as the match went on.
You've obviously defeated the number 1 team in the Summit League before. Just how have you kind of even grown from that North Dakota State game, and what have you learned since that about your team?
Yeah, I think a lot of ways. Our serve and pass game continues to improve. We're the least aced team in this conference, and it's not where we were a year ago. And so our team has put in a lot of work in that phase to be really good, to get us in systems so that we can be balanced offensively. I think we've also done a really nice job of putting some pressure on our opponents with our offensive range. We've continued to develop the ability to hit different shots at different speeds in a variety of different areas on the court from all of our attackers. And so we're able to score in a lot of different ways, which puts a lot of pressure on our opponents to be great in having to read our setters and having to be great against our attackers.
Is it just kind of fun for your program right now just to have such a positive mindset going into games like USD of, hey, these are winnable games for us now?
Yeah. We talked a lot last week about having fun and finding joy in what we were doing. And you'll talk to Marissa Stockman in a little bit, but Marissa was one of our leaders for the week last week, and that was her whole focus, was how can we enjoy what we're doing and how we're doing it, because we're making history every single day with our program here, and it's hard work for sure, and we're going to keep putting our heads down and getting better, but we've also got to find the joy in that and celebrate the wins and celebrate the moments that we have when we're doing things that have never been done before with UND Volleyball.
What are your what are your biggest notes for the Coyotes?
Yeah, I think you look at South Dakota and you've got to recognize that Elizabeth Junkie is pretty impressive. She's currently leading the NCAA in kills on the season, which is no small feat. She actually set the record for single season kills in a match this year as well, for the NCAA for this season, but also a Summit League record overall. And she takes a ton of swings. So if you look at her overall attempts on the year, she's at almost 1,300 swings on the season, which is a lot. I feel for her shoulder, and I hope that her trainer's taking care of her. But that's a pretty big load. I mean, there's the next highest set attacker on their team has just about 500 swings. So she's got more than twice as many attempts as anybody else on their roster. So finding a way, I don't think you're going to stop her, but I think finding a way to slow her down and make it a little bit more frustrating for her than it usually is will be a really fun challenge for our team.
Are you starting to feel the home buzz grow a little bit as you guys kind of
Yeah, it's been really cool just as we were out in the community, or I know yesterday we had the Halloween bash for our local community here in Grand Forks, and to have people that are constantly coming up to you and telling you how much they love watching the games and how exciting it is to have volleyball be a thing again in the Grand Forks world is really fun. And we have that support here at home, but we also have it on the road. We actually travel really well. And so a lot of the places that we've gone to play, when we're not at home, we've had a pretty sizable fan base that's come with us, both with alumni, with families of our team, but even some students have traveled with us as well, which has been really cool. And so having that support and having people cheering you on is never a bad thing, and we're really grateful for that.